Hey guys, Darth Glork from the future here. So before you get into today's video, you should know that we have a problem. I've encountered a soft lock in the game. We're playing through the mod, as you've obviously seen. There's a problem, so I will just show you what happens. So you're not gonna know where we are or why I'm standing with Malik or whatever else until you watch today's video. We have to go over here, okay? And I'll just show you why. So the objective for what's happening story-wise is through these doors. These doors. Okay. The problem is the game soft locks when we get to this point, and so I'll just give you a demonstration. There it is, just like that. So and I've tried everything. I've tried running around. I've tried running around a different side. I've tried not fighting. I figured out that you can stand in that little initial room and I can get the droids to just come to me, kill the droids, but the problem isn't the droids, it's the Mandos in the back, and there's something wrong with them. So I looked up, like, okay, well, what the hell do I do? Because the game's soft locked, I can't get past this point. And I found a forum online where people were talking about this exact crash in this exact spot. And the thing is, it's something wrong with the mod, and there's apparently like some sort of problem with something spawning, like Force ghosts and Mandalorians, and there's some sort of conflict, and it makes the game crash. And so the problem is there's no way past it unless you know how to mod, and I don't. And so you have to fix the mod, and some people have fixed it because they know how to mod, and so they go in and using the tools or whatever that you use to mod, and they can change some things and get it to work. And I found a step-by-step guide that it's like 15 steps, and it talks about all these mod tools that I don't have, I don't know where to get, I don't know how to do it. And maybe with some time I don't know, maybe with some time I could get through it. So we're kind of up shit creek without a paddle, okay? Like, I don't... Oh, here comes the biker again. Okay, he's pulling away again. This one dickhead just does laps around my building. I don't know why. Anyway, so we're kind of up a creek, and I can't really do anything about it because I can't mod. I don't know how to fix it. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna watch. I mean, if you're interested, I guess you'll watch today's video. It's gonna end very abruptly, and there's nothing I can do. And then I guess off camera, I am so very soon, maybe chasing this video directly. There'll be an update where I will basically just summarize to you what happens in the mod, because I'll try to find someone else playing through the mod online, somebody else that knows how to fix the crashing, and I will just watch what happens. I will summarize it to you, and then I will make, and then in that summary video, I guess, yeah, there'll be a summary. This playthrough will be paused off camera. I'm gonna play through the game again. I'm gonna cheat though. I'm gonna cheat my ever-loving mind off. I'm gonna turn on cheats, and I'm gonna level myself up to where I was before all the crashing, and I'm gonna turn myself into a Jedi Knight rather than a Sentinel right out the gate, and we're just not gonna play through the mod. And then we'll just finish the game, because it's annoying that of course I'm pissed. I'm pissed that I even have to do this. I'm pissed that the mod crashes. I'm a little annoyed at the mod anyway, because I've heard some things about what the ending fights are like, and there was too much. There was too much alien dialogue. There was a lot that I didn't love. Okay, like it was a slog. So much of the game of the mod is a slog. You're just fighting your way through it. And the beginning artifact stuff, didn't care at all about it. And there's so much about it that I just already wasn't a fan. So now I'm pissed that I have to play through the game again when we're almost done. I was ready for the game to be over, and now suddenly I have to play through the game again off camera. I'm gonna cheat to make it doable for me, so I don't have to spend another 30 hours getting through the game. I'm gonna cheat, and I'm gonna power level myself up using cheat codes to the level I already was in that mod when it was crashing. I'm gonna be a better build this time, because I'll be a knight right out the gate, and I'm gonna go right to the star maps, and I'm gonna power talk to it through all my companions and all that stuff, and I'm just gonna blow through the game. So ideally, in just a few hours, I can be back to where we were. That's gonna be the plan. So then there'll be an update video that'll come out and summarize what happens with the mod, and maybe I'll talk a little bit more about it, and then the playthrough will resume. I don't know if I'm planning on just putting out Dragon Age stuff, like until I can get caught up to where we were with this game, or whether I'm planning on putting out random stuff in place of this game, just like little standalone things, just to stall until I catch up enough. So at the moment, that'll be the plan. So admittedly, I'm pretty pissed, but sorry about this giant update at the beginning of the video. So now what's gonna follow is the footage from today before the hard crashing began, and then some point, maybe chasing this video directly, it's hard to say, I will put up an update, and I'll summarize what happens with the mod for you. So anyway, sorry about that. Enjoy what footage I have. Hey guys, Darth Glork here, back with part 16 of my Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Season 2 playthrough, modded playthrough. Welcome back. So last time we got some sweet Shadow backstory. And a boss fight that was a little rough. We also crashed like 5 times, so that wasn't awesome. But now we're in the Korriban Wastes with me and of course my wife, who's Shadow, and then Kobayashi, the tag-along, who just won't let it go. So I imagine that he's going to prove to be difficult later, because he's probably not going to like me being Darkside, or me trying to do my best to keep Shadow loyal and Darkside. Anyway, though. Let's see what the freak's going on here.
Verbal, has your scan picked anything up?
Master, you have startled me. Interrupting me during this delicate operation may inadvertently lead to the corruption of my sensors. Currently, the price of Class 9 sensors for the GE3 model are available from Zerka at a rate far beyond your current revenue, so I would advise that you...
Alright, I get your point. So, what are the results of your scan? Is there anything that should warrant our interest in the Korriban Wastes?
Unfortunately, my sensors have been unable to operate at an optimum efficiency for the duration of the scan. Feedback indicates that this interference has been caused by an electrical disturbance that originates from an unknown entity within the Korriban Wastes.
An unknown entity within the Korriban Wastes? Any idea what it could be?
Classification of this entity cannot be determined. I have insufficient data to perform an analysis.
Then the Korriban Waste is not as empty as was thought. Where is the location of this mysterious entity?
The precise location of this entity lies 8.05 kilometers to the west of our present location.
8.05 kilometers, that's pretty far. Farther than I've ever been. Farther than anyone has probably ever even seen.
Such things do not concern us, only reaching our destination matters.
Your enthusiasm is inspiring, but I'm sure between here and your Jedi there will be plenty of things that can kill you if you let them. Don't underestimate the wastes. It'd be a big mistake. Though I guess when you're a Jedi, the impossible becomes routine.
I'm not a Jedi. Just don't know why it's so hard for him to comprehend. I don't know if she's seeing things or if he's really standing there. Hard to say. Solomon, I feel you here. Your passing echoes a presence that has left its mark on the currents that sweep across these wastelands. Questions without answers. Interesting. Alright, let's see here. You have at last found the Korriban Waste, and with the help of Kobayashi and his protocol droid Verbal, have a new destination. You should travel across the Korriban Waste, search for the energy source, which was detected. With luck, it may lead directly to Solomon. With any luck. We're gonna save it a lot, because obviously with the recent crashing, who knows what could happen. Okay, so I ran around the desert for a while, and fought a couple of little random, those dog things, whatever they're called, nothing crazy. And then I found this other little entrance to one side of the desert, and I entered it, and here we are. So nothing of note so far, but I thought I would just let you know that I was in a different area, and you know, and of course I'll cut back in when anything good is happening. Oh, cutscene. The energy signal we detected does not lie in this direction. Come, we cannot deviate. Ah, okay, so this is not the right way. Okay, so it must be back in the desert, so I will continue to plod along the desert, see what else we find. Okay, so we ran around the desert a very long time. I went through like 2 new areas with nothing in it but random enemies. There's like the dogs, there's Shyraks, and then there's a few crazy miners. And so we've been slaying, but I found this.
Now, this is something I didn't expect to find. Looks like a door of some kind. Verbal, the entity you detected, are we close?
If the data gathered by my sensors is accurate, the precise location of this entity is within the vicinity of our present location.
Then I guess whatever it is lies beyond that door.
Solomon is here now within this cave. I can feel his presence. Gasp.
This door is extremely ancient, although, if I'm not mistaken, there are signs of recent activity. Someone's definitely passed through here. Damn, locked tight. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Things were never going to be that easy.
We must find a way to unlock it.
If anyone has any bright ideas, now might be the best time to share them.
We need to search for a way to open the door. Solomon has done it, and so can we. Well, that's interesting. Cannot progress. Examine the door. You notice some strange runes etched into the surface of the ancient door. You don't know why, but you somehow understand the meaning. From what you can interpret, it reads, "The shadow is bound by its bane, shackled by betrayal, devoid of flesh, and thus devoid of purpose. To the weak, you may heed this not. The shadow's call. Its teachings are of corruption and only lead to death. To the strong, you may heed the shadow's call. Take solace in self and remain mindful of the betrayal and its consequences. Seek knowledge, seek enlightenment." Well, it's a good thing you clicked on it. I was just like, touched it and it opened for me. When you place your hand on the ancient door, it mysteriously opened. You should now progress further into the ancient cave and search for the origin of the detected energy source. Well, there you go. Look at that. It's so simpler than you might think. All I had to do was touch it. And sure enough, it opened. Will we find anything in this deep, dark, spooky-ass cave? Alright. What the hell's happening now?
I have a bad feeling about this. Verbal, I need you to stay behind. I want some insurance in case things don't go our way.
Master, don't be irrational. If I stay here, then I cannot acquire the data I need to perform an analysis of the entity.
Fine. Let me put it to you this way. Whoever or whatever is in this structure, they will probably want to harm you, to damage your superior workmanship. So by choosing to enter the structure, you are technically choosing also to harm yourself. Wouldn't that be against your programming?
Master, your logic is correct. It would be against my programming. I will stay here then, and await further instruction.
And don't talk to any strangers while I'm gone, regardless of how many upgrades they offer you.
You should really get that droid's memory wiped. It clearly has an attitude problem. You should fix that. Droids are supposed to be cooperative. He's not even, like, fun and wacky like my droid. Like HK, you know? He's, like, just sort of annoying and wacky. You should get his memory wiped. You should really fix that. Unless, of course, he likes the backtalk. I don't know. Maybe he's like, you know, it keeps me on my feet. It's almost like I'm interacting with a real person. It's like, I guess so. Whatever floats your boat, man. With all the way I'm running, you can, like, I'm gonna get my ass just rinsed. I can already feel it. I'm telling you. I'm gonna get absolutely rinsed by something. When we finally get to Solomon or whatever, he's just gonna, like, beat my ass like I owe him money. It's not good. It's very, very not good. I'm just gonna get destroyed by something. I can feel it. Oh, Solomon. Speak of the devil. Oh, he's gone. Oh, wait. Nope. No, he's not. Hey, what up?
And so at last, you have come.
Solomon, you're alive. It is as I feared.
You have risked much to come here, my former pupil. You have survived the trials on the residential level, you have traversed the Korriban wastes, and you have discovered this ancient temple. This temple of shadow. You were always strong in both body and spirit. It is why I chose you as my Padawan learner. Even in the moment I first met you, I could recognize the potential soaring within what was then merely a child. A child I then chose to rescue from what would have been a fleeting life of insignificance on the streets of Slieheran. It was in your potential to become my protege, to become the greatest of Jedi, yet you became what stands before me, a shell.
Solomon, how did you survive Terrace? At the climax of our battle, I watched you fall into darkness within the walkway when the walkway was destroyed. Nobody could have survived that, yet you have.
They say fate often works in mysterious ways. I survived Terrace because I was meant to survive, because it was intended that I wake amongst the rubble born anew, a changed man.
Hi, what up? It's like, yeah, that one's me, the Dark Lord of the Sith.
As you have become a slave to a master, equally are you a master to a slave. The Arcanian, what worth do you find in him? I merely see a man, ruled by passion, yet afraid to embrace it.
Better than a crazed Jedi. Better than a murdering Jedi.
He's like, shut up. He's like, shut the fuck up. Didn't ask. He's like, oh god. Ugh.
I once told someone that choice cannot exist without consequence. If my actions serve to condemn me as a murderer, then so be it. It was necessary.
Your fight isn't with Kobayashi, it's with me. Then why did you do
I
that?
could no longer risk his interference, so for now I have removed him. He was an unexpected, unpredictable factor in our reunion.
So what are you planning, Solomon? Why have you come to Korriban, to this ancient temple?
Matilda, it is the name I gave you that would always serve to remind you of what you once were and what you have since become. Yet now you are before me. I see that what was once the child on Slieheran is now gone. In its stead is a creature that was spawned from the tragedy of the Mandalorian Wars.
As you said, choice is always followed by consequence. When I chose to follow Revan to the Mandalorian Wars, I also chose to accept whatever consequence would befall me.
If only you knew what I now know, would you so willingly have accepted those consequences? Do not act surprised. I know that Tilana's death made you question a great many things surrounding your role in the Mandalorian Wars. It is that part of you that manifested itself in the mining tunnels. It is the remnants of your forsaken identity.
It was an identity unspoiled by the horrors of war. It was an identity which no longer exists.
This identity, it had a name, didn't it? Can you remember? Do you even know? Yes, Shana May. It is the name of the one I found on Slieheran. It is the name of the one I raised, the name of the one I trained. It is the name of the one who betrayed me, who was corrupted and then sacrificed to become a tool of war.
Questions without answers.
And I hold these answers. You know this. It is why you have come here. Come with me, for only together can we reclaim the identity that was sacrificed. I can give you back your purpose, your life.
I don't think so, pal. No, you do not manipulate me. You will not manipulate me into betraying my master. Whatever you are planning, Solomon, it ends now.
Unfortunate, yet it is the response I expected.
To say, I take that personally. Hey, I like your sabers, bro.
I hold the answers to your questions, yet as before you react with aggression. This matters not. I am more than willing to cleanse your mind of this and all other weakness through the fires of combat.
Uh-oh. Well, I do appreciate that she immediately, the second that he tried to get her to turn on me, that I love that her response was immediately like, you know, activate her sabers, and I did it at the same time. Because we both knew that was so not gonna happen. So, will he absolutely destroy me? Probably. Well, that's a good sign. I hit him.
You may fight using unfamiliar Sith techniques, but at its most basic forms, your combat style is still Johnny. You cannot defeat me.
Hang on.
You are stronger than I had anticipated, but not strong enough. You will fall. It is inevitable.
Oh, there you go. Wasn't very difficult. It doesn't mean it's over, but Solomon, you've been defeated. This is the end for you.
The end? This is merely the beginning.
The beginning? He said the beginning of his revenge before we got interrupted. Before I accidentally clicked. Ah, the classic. Overwhelm me with 1,000 enemies. That never gets old.
Like you, I too am guilty of sacrifice. I am no longer the Jedi Master I once was. I will be born anew as a greater being, a being of power. What did you expect to find here? Forgiveness? You allowed the Mandalorian Wars to consume you, and as I warned, it changed you forever. You are nothing to me now.
But what have you done to yourself, Solomon? What have you done?
There was once power here, ancient and timeless. It was born from the betrayals of old. That power was contained within an artifact. An artifact which was stolen from its resting place, and then in consequence of your master's actions, destroyed. Yet the power contained within survived and was scattered. This place, it is more than a mere temple. It harbors a focal point for the power, a point in which its scattered remnants can be concentrated and then fused together. The process of reunification is complicated and time-consuming, yet as you can see, it has now reached a point where the power was able to once again take form and help me in my time of need. Do not perceive these beings as individuals, as any concept of identity was lost to them a millennia ago. They have no will, no ambition, and no emotion. They each serve merely as slaves to the dominant will.
The dominant will? What do you mean?
The ancient, timeless power. It was itself personified in the form of a single being. It is said he was once a leader, and that all who followed him as he wrought the ancient betrayals which condemned him shared his fate. But now, thanks to you and your master, both will be reborn.
I have a feeling I know where this is going.
Akira Khan's sin and the Brotherhood of Shadow will rise again.
Ah, yes. The tie-in. Ah, yes. Ah, yes, the tie-in. Well, there you go. Where am I? What happened?
You are still within the Temple of Shadow, an ancient structure from an age ago that was built to house what remained of the Brotherhood of Shadow. This is the temple's main chamber, where the focal point for the Brotherhood of Shadow's scattered power is situated.
Why can't I move my body? I think he said something again, but it skipped. Solomon, what have you done with Revan? With Kobayashi?
Calm yourself, Shaname. They are safe. They are secure.
I don't see why I should believe you.
Search your feelings, Shaname, and you will realize that I have no reason to deceive you. I speak only truth. And truth, it seems, may be the only thing left of significance in what was once a promising life. You could have become so much. Yet you became so little. You have no individuality, you have no identity, and any indication you have of free will is an illusion. Tell me, in your own words, what is your purpose?
I kill targets at the behest of my master. I'm an assassin. I am Revan's shadow.
Was it your own choice to become this tool of war? Was it your own choice to follow Revan to the Mandalorian Wars and beyond? To forsake and sacrifice everything of significance in your life, including your very identity?
During the Mandalorian Wars, Revan was an inspirational leader. Each time she spoke, her words made me feel like I was born anew. I had to follow her. It seemed like it was fate.
But was it fate? Was it your own choice? No, you did not choose. You were chosen. It was all a manipulation which thrust you towards war, a manipulation which provoked your betrayal, and a manipulation that compelled you to sacrifice everything for a cause that wasn't even your own. And always, always behind those manipulations was Revan.
I was manipulated? But how? God damn it, Shadow, don't fall for this
Tell
shit.
me, are you familiar with force bonding? It was not a concept we had covered in great depth, as I preferred to keep my tutelage focused on the arts of combat.
Force bonding allows those touched by the Force to communicate feelings and imagery between each other across great distances, although bonds of any significant strength are considered to be exceptionally rare.
Yes, that is what has been accepted within the Jedi Order as the links in which Force sensitives can communicate with one another through the Force. Feelings and imagery, nothing more. But what if I told you that the communication of feelings and imagery is but the beginning of what can be achieved using Force bonding? What if I told you that through Force bonding, an individual can inspire a mindless devotion within the mind of another? And what if I told you that all of this can be achieved passively, without the subject even realizing they are being manipulated? Did you never wonder why so many Jedi chose to follow Revan into darkness? Revan used what was possible with Force bonding as a means to inspire loyalty in those Jedi. A loyalty towards battle, a loyalty towards the dark side.
Are you suggesting that Revan manipulated us all?
Some of the Jedi needed to be significantly manipulated, whilst others needed just a gentle push. It did not matter to Revan. The art of manipulation had already been mastered over the course of the Mandalorian Wars.
But if we were all manipulated, then why was I the only one to sacrifice so much?
Understand that to use Force bonding to manipulate others is no easy task, even for one as powerful as Revan. To master, it requires a great commitment of time, patience, and a willing subject.
Are you implying that I was Revan's
Yes,
test subject?
You were the first and arguably the greatest of Revan's manipulations. Over the course of the Mandalorian Wars, the Force bond Revan created between you allowed her to determine the lengths in which this form of bonding could be used as a tool of manipulation. Whatever its limitations, whatever its strengths, whatever its weaknesses, you suffered from all. And ultimately, it was this bond that transformed you from what was once my Padawan into a being so fanatically obsessed with adhering to Revan's will that everything else, even your very identity, was seen as insignificant and thus subconsciously discarded.
It's bullshit. The gaping hole left by the sacrifice of identity was never replaced with a new one. Instead, I think you became something else. Something that cannot exist without Revan.
The Force bond that Revan created between you, it became itself so central to your life that you became completely dependent on its continued existence to retain stability. And when Revan was incapacitated and the bond was suddenly broken, the shock of its loss was a horror beyond your ability to withstand. You could not grasp the concept of existing again as an individual, and so you lost consciousness. In truth, it should have killed you.
So without the presence of the bond, I had to relearn even the very basics of life. This is why I felt lost and confused on the Orion. It's why I temporarily lost my ability to feel the Force, even though it still flowed within me.
You were a test subject, and those were merely some of its consequences. Revan used what had been learned from your manipulation to help shape what became the Sith Empire.
But if my purpose was tied to those experiments in Force bonding, why, after those experiments were completed, was I not discarded? After the Mandalorian Wars had ended, the Sith Empire was formed, I became Revan's personal assassin, her shadow.
Betrayal is the way of the Sith. In you, Revan had found a servant who would always be loyal.
Then everything I had sacrificed during the course of the Mandalorian Wars, it was never the consequences of the choice I had made. It was merely a part of Revan's manipulation.
Yes, and it was that manipulation which, during the finality of the Mandalorian Wars, pushed you over the edge and past the point of no return.
The point of no return, the moment where I discarded my identity and last embraced my role as Revan's tool of war.
Do you remember, Shauna May? The field of battle, the screams, the explosions, the death. Do you remember the Battle of Malachor 5?
This better not be the narrative that lands, like she betrays me. I swear to God, that better not happen. I will be more than a little upset. The Battle of Malachor 5, the battle which brought an end to the Mandalorian Wars. I was with Revan during the final stages of that battle and saw with my own eyes the final moments of the war. We had infiltrated the Mandalorian command ship to permanently cripple our enemy's ability to organize and maintain the fighting force which engaged our own on the ground and in the skies above Malachor 5. The Mandalorian warriors, faced with final defeat, fought fanatically against us in the last battle, the war that cleansed their ranks of the weak and inexperienced, leaving only the battle-hardened veterans to stand against us. The strength of our own forces was spread too thinly to match the concentrated ferocity and fanaticism of the Mandalorians, but Revan knew that a physical victory on the battlefield, regardless of the circumstances, could only be achieved through first a spiritual one. With each and every Mandalorian warrior had lost the will to continue the fight, Revan would manipulate what remained of our enemy and lure them into a doom which could not escape from, the mass shadow generator. The source of our enemies' morale lied in their fanatical adherence to the Mandalorian culture, a culture personified in a single man who himself was the living embodiment of what it means to be a Mandalorian. A man whose death would shatter the Mandalorians to their core and thrust them towards the doom Revan had prepared for them. And that man was their leader, Mandalore the Ultimate. Cool. Oh look, it's my Padawan. Before I cut his face off. General, time is not a luxury we can afford. We must continue forward and reach the place that the Mandalorians commands his forces. Then and only then can we at last destroy him. With the disappearance of Mandalore's chief strategic advisor, I'm imagining is what he meant to say, Cassius Fett at Jagga's cluster, no competent Mandalorian field marshal remains who could possibly recover from the blow that they will suffer when Mandalore himself falls. They will not escape the doom I have prepared for them. Then we must do what must be done. I will commit myself to defending Mandalore, defeating Mandalore, even if it means sacrificing my own life in the process. Your enthusiasm is commendable, but Mandalore is mine to destroy. You are not to interfere during our battle. Imagine he's like,
the dark side is strong in this place. I can feel its power.
Do not turn away from the horror which transpires around you. Embrace it, be consumed by it, and allow it to fuel your thirst for power. It's like, we must not shrink away, my apprentice. Oh, I don't know what she said. Then our destination is the elevator. Keep your lightsabers at hand and be mindful of your surroundings. We cannot afford to recklessly waste time on meaningless slaughter, so attack only when attacked. Wow, watching all the blues and purples is very different. Alright, so there was a big ol' fight, but not very exciting. Especially because my damage is kind of shit, is the other major problem. Is because my damage is not very good, because I'm like spec'd into like, you know, two-handed mastery and stuff, and I just looked, and they only had one weapon. But at least now I can equip this. which should drastically increase my damage output. There we go. It's not as good as a saber, but hang on, I could briefly. It's like way down there. There we go. Command, open all doors. Anyway, at least giving that sword will help me, but my, I don't have any bonus gear like other stuff, you know? So I don't have any like bonuses to any of my shit. Yes. Solo mode off. Follow me, people. All the terminals in the ship should be linked to the Mandalorian communications network, or at least what remains of it after the central transmitter was destroyed during the invasion of Dexon. Configure the system to relay all information and transmissions from the communication network to the outlining fleets. Only the outlining fleets, General? What of the fleets on the front line? Many of our troops should still be engaged in battle with Mandalorians on the ground in the skies above Malachor 5. Their loyalties lie elsewhere, and they cannot be trusted. Then we will send them nothing. We will share the same. They will share the same fate as the Mandalorians. The communications network has been severely damaged and is barely operational. It would seem a single channel of the transmission network is still broadcasting intelligence among Mandalorian capital ships. Well, the transmission has been altered. They are about to broadcast new content. It seems Mandalore himself is preparing to deliver a speech. I'm patching the signal through now.
Children of the Mandalore, this is our greatest of hours, the moment where we at last break free from the chains that have long shackled us to the defeat of the great Sith War. Hail the glorious dead. It is their sacrifice that has allowed us to move forward and meet this destiny. Each and every Mandalorian, from the Mandalore himself to the newest of recruits, is each blessed with a duty to preserve the honor of our culture through the embrace of the Mandalorian way. War is our way. We Mandalorians recognize that as we fight on the field of battle, we fight because it is in our nature to fight, to conquer through crusade. War is our way. We Mandalorians recognize that retreat, negotiation, and surrender are words of no meaning. There is either victory or there is death. War is our way. We Mandalorians recognize that on the battlefield, where our enemies see only horror, we see pleasure. Where our enemies see only torment, we see joy. And where our enemies see only slaughter, we Mandalorians see purpose. Because it is in war that one is granted purpose. It is in war that one finds definition. Here at Malachor 5, we Neo-Crusaders will find that definition. It is our destiny.
Transmission's been lost. Communications array of the ship has been damaged, or electrical interference from Malachor 5, something or other. No matter, I've decrypted the transmission signal and assigned it to my personal communicator. Should the transmission be resumed, we can listen to the rest of the broadcast. Come, the path is now clear. Every minute we squander here is yet another delay to the end of the war. Okay. Let's just give this a save before anything else kicks off. Aha! Alright. I will explain what happened in just a second. Although, you know, actually, I probably could just show it, you know. So there was those electrical outlet looking things. I had the idea that, you know, it's kind of weird that I can click on it. Like, you're not allowed to, like, ever click on those things. That's pretty weird. So I thought it made sense to maybe, just like with the Rancor way back in the beginning of the game, if you put a grenade in it, maybe they'll blow up and the shield will drop. So that's exactly what happened. And it totally worked. Otherwise, it's just been me fighting through legions of Mandalorians, and it does occur to me now that I'm not spec'd into. I mean, probably not. Yeah, see, I have extra bonuses to lightsabers, but I'm on basic, you know, with melee weapons. I don't have bonuses to melee weapons. You know what I mean? But I don't have dueling either, so it's like I can't decide if it's better to have... I mean, my damage goes up, but my chance to hit goes down. And so some parts, see, like this goes up, but the damage is there, but I increase the damage, but my chance to hit does go a little bit down, but maybe it is worth it for now. Anyway, let's fight through this guy, probably get my ass kicked. We're surviving, it's just my damage is slow because it takes me a long time to get through the enemy. Luckily, my two friends are much stronger than I am. Get him, kids. As you can see, they're doing way more damage than I am. As you can tell. Most of the time I miss. Anyway. Alright, we are working our way through. And we are getting there. So, you know. We're getting through it. It's just taking time. I'm cutting out a lot of big sections of this just because it's not exciting. Like, it's not exciting. So that's why I'm cutting big sections of this video out as I make it through, because me cutting through swaths of Mandalorians is not exactly very exciting. Or wandering around trying to find out where to go. Also not exciting. Oh, something's happening. I have reacquired the signal that has been transmitted among Mandalorian capital ships. Still fairly weak, but I believe it's sufficient to allow us to continue listening to the broadcast for a time. I'm passing through the signal.
I am under no delusions, my children. I understand how crucial a situation we are in. The Republic has pushed us from Onderon, from Althir, from Duxon. These are worlds we captured at the cost of countless Mandalorian lives. Our sacrifices are many, our victories now few, but our resolve has never been greater. We can defeat the Republic here. We can begin to reclaim the ground that they have taken from us. But only if you continue to embrace the Mandalorian way and commit yourselves completely to war. Seek honor through battle and bring boundless glory to the Mandalorian peoples. War.
Lost the signal again. For now, there is nothing I can do to get it back, so we can do nothing but continue to press forward. Well, that's really exciting. Wouldn't want to miss his speech after all. Obviously, that would be terrible. Hark, I found the bridge. I've been doing so much killing you wouldn't even believe. But I've been doing a lot of killing. I leveled up once, which was cool. We got an attribute point. I put it to strength, which bumped us to 18 strength, which feels good. And I noticed my damage went up by quite a bit after that, which does help. Other than that, nothing exciting. Just lots of killing, lots of experience gain. So here we are. Solid. Oh, did I just collateral that guy? Yeet. There, you go first. He's like, I think it's clear, man. You're good. As the great Bob Ross would say, what a happy accident. Later, idiots. I could hear Darth Vader in my head. I have you now. No, walk it off, bro. You're okay. It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up. That was so perfect.